Yay Media Group.
If I pay full price for like a pair of pants, I'm not into those pants. If I get half off because of some sale, I'm really into those pants. The same pants. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
No. Hey guys, episode 88. You know what's funny?
Michael Irvin.
I woke up this morning and I started my period and I was just like,
wow, let's just start there.
Yeah. And you know, when all the ladies can relate and you have like all these emotions, like you want to just cry about everything and then like moody and crabby. And then my period started. I'm like, oh, that's where all those emotions came from. The hormones.
Well, does it make you, I don't even know why I'm dipping into this, but does it make you feel better that you know you have an answer? Because sometimes you're just like, man, I feel crazy or I feel lazy. I'm speaking for me, or I feel not motivated, but I have to wrap my head around that and like get myself motivated.
I get very emotional and I get very moody and crabby and like, then when it comes, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine. And then I feel like I level out and I get back normal again until it comes the next month.
But like when you're like, maybe it's not, does it click? That's what I guess I'm asking. Are you like, I don't want to sound like an idiot here, but are you like feeling out all those things and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my period.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I'm on a group text message right now. And that's what our group thread is about, our periods. And then one of them's like, I'm going out of town with my husband. I'm trying not to be on my period.
I think it's, first of all, I hope I don't sound ignorant. There's probably women listening like, what a jerk. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm trying to understand. I, first of all, think it's amazing. Everyone asks us Big Brother questions. I never knew this till I was on Big Brother. Women's period, if you put them together, they sync up.
We're synced. That's why like our group chat, we've talked and I told my friend, I'm like, oh, I'm on mine. And the other one's like, oh, I'm on mine too. And we're always around each other and we all are like on the same cycle. It's really weird.
Well, what is the like natural, like in nature, what is the reason for that?
I don't know. If you're a listener and you're a nurse or a doctor, please let us know. Dude, I really don't know why.
We got to call like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
When I worked at the hair salon, and I worked at a huge hair salon, and all of us were always on at like around the same time. Like us front desk girls that were up there, it's so funny how that happens. Weird. Yeah. That's our bodies, weird. Like when you really look into stuff, it's so crazy. Like just how the baby, like I'm so fascinated with like when the baby is growing, not even a baby, it's like a tadpole. And I'm so fascinated by all that, how it happens and how fast it gets and it beat the other ones and how it worked its way in.
The strong survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it survived. And so I'm like, when I think about it now, my kids, I'm like, Lawson and Leighton were like little swimmers. They got ahead of everybody. And then what about these other ones? What if it wasn't Lawson or Leighton and then this other little swimmer beat them? Like, who would it be? I don't know. It's just very fascinating. If you think about that kind of stuff on the daily, it's like you're kind of not proud, but you know what I mean? Kind of like, how did I even get here? Like the chances of you getting here, and it's just astonishing. And then just you being so small, and then just how it grows, and then how a woman's body transforms, and your bait, like Lawson, again, I talk about this, how he always has questions. He's like, how do I eat in your belly? Like, how does that work? When he was asking me questions. And then I was explaining it to him, like
the umbilical cord.
Yeah, how the umbilical cord. I go, that's why you have a belly button. So I was like, so you could eat. I go, everything I ate, you ate. And I go, I ate so much chicken salad. Maybe that's why you hate chicken salad, because I try to get him to like it. And I was like, that's all I ate.
And then they don't breathe in there, or does the air come through the umbilical cord and then the first time they breathe is when they get out?
No, that's why you're protected with the, what is it called? Sac. We're going to sound so dumb.
Oh yeah, we should get off.
We're going to sound so dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a beautiful thing is what we're trying to explain.
But have you seen, I've watched it. I don't know if you had.
I've seen yours.
I am going to sound dumb right now. The sac, when it's protected,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
When they're doing
the amniotic fluid or something like that.
But that's like that.
We're saying it wrong, yeah.
When the kid, I've saw on YouTube, they have to pop it And then they pull the baby out. It's amazing. And the baby's just in there and looking, and it's a human. When Lawson, you do miss those sometimes when I think back, like when I was pregnant, just feeling the kicks. And when Lawson was stuck up under my ribs, and that hurt. But I remember just feeling his head moving, and just those, like, that's something you'll never experience and you'll never know.
I think that bond, that's why I think children bond with their mothers more so. Not saying they don't bond with their fathers, but more so with their mothers, because you guys have that relationship for 9 months, you know, even if they can't remember it, there's just that natural instinct to like go back to your mother.
But another thing that I think is just so cool, and I didn't know this when I was pregnant, was when they're born, that's why your nipples get so dark and huge. It's like bullseye.
Yeah, they told us that.
For the baby.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. And I remember I was like, oh my God, that's real. But it's just amazing just what your bodies can do and how your bodies heal and just the whole thing. It's amazing.
It is amazing. You know, when you think of like a car accident, or I'm not comparing the two, but like a bloody thing, you're like, oh my God, it couldn't even help them. I don't know how paramedics do it, you know, and I'm not one for like blood and stuff. But when you had the baby, people are like, oh my God, you saw the C-section, you saw giving birth. It wasn't like gross. It was like a beautiful thing. Like, oh my God, you just made this thing in your body. It was like that. So that's the best way I could describe it to people who don't have kids out there. It's just a beautiful thing. You might think it's like a car accident where someone broke their arm and you're like, oh, I can't look at that.
You're meaning because it's so bloody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they have the tarp up.
Right. And you do see some things you don't want to see, but that's not what I was focused on. I was focused on, you know, the baby coming out of there. And I was like, wow, both times, the C-section. And so I can't believe your body did that.
I know. I remember with Lawson, they had to call another doctor to come down and help because he was stuck.
You were like going
my whole
back and
body
forth.
was just moving, and she's like, he's stuck. And he was really, like I said, he was really tucked under the rib. And the best part is if anybody's pregnant listening, or you want to be pregnant, you know, just so you can hear some of these, the best part is when you get to go see those 3D images.
Yeah.
And they look like a wax figure, but you get to see the actual nose, because the whole time you're picturing, like, what do you look like? And you only see just a little bit. I mean, now who knows what they look like? That was 8 years ago.
And how does it work out? Speaking of nature and like things, how does it work out that one is more like me and the other one's you? Like, how does that work out that you get one of each, not two? It's just, I get the genetics
I always
part,
wonder if we had a third,
right,
what it
would it be like? I don't know. It's just nature's fascinating. If you sit back and stop worrying about what people write on the internet and things like that, and look around and actually think of that tree is 200 years old outside the house. Like, just crazy things, you know what I mean? Kind of like you're high, but just appreciative instead of being high, you know? You ever think like that?
Well, I know I am getting older because never this year, I feel like, is the first year I've ever really appreciated trees and like looked at them.
I was just giving an example.
And this is the first year I'm like, Lawson had a football practice. I'm like, why didn't I ever look in this neighborhood? The trees. That was not even the houses. It was, I just love these trees. And they were so big and so old. And I just kept staring at them. And I know that sounds crazy, but like now I just appreciate trees so much.
All right. We're going to take a break there with the tree talk. And then although it is tree season, people are picking out their Christmas trees and stuff. But we're done with the Arbor Day speech. We're going to take a little break and come back. Togetherness is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Okay, it is getting dark early, and I look at my phone and it's only 5:30 and I feel like it's 8:30 and it's so depressing.
Yeah. And I think the holidays could be overwhelming for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, whether it's you lost someone or you don't really have that family member that's there or a close friend to talk to. I think everybody, including why it gets dark earlier, plus the holiday season, they get a little seasonal depression.
It is. And it's hard sometimes to remind ourselves that we're all trying to do our best to make sense of of everything in this crazy world. And sometimes it's not easy. And I think the stress of the holidays, people like yourself who lost your job, kids wanting to, our kids are like, I want this for Christmas. Santa Claus, I want that. And that's a lot of stress on a family. I'm just like, letting y'all know that's just like the stress in our family.
Yeah. And I think every family relates to that or not, whether they want to say it out loud. That's why it's good to have somebody to talk to. And this month, Thanksgiving is all about giving thanks and gratitude. And it's hard to remind ourselves that we are trying our best to make sense of everything in this crazy world. And that's why life isn't easy right now.
No.
For anybody.
No, it's not. Here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including yourself.
And don't let your ego get in the way to not get help. We've gotten help in the past, whether it been your postpartum or even a reality show we did. Therapy has benefited us in the past, and there's no reason to let your ego get in the way of why you shouldn't be talking to someone about your internal problems.
I do feel like people now are a little more open to therapy than they used to be, because I feel like back in the day, if you said you need therapy, it was shown like you were weak. And now I feel like everybody's like, I need help.
Yeah.
And that's why it's nice to be something like BetterHelp. That's why it's nice to be able to reach out to a therapist at any time.
That's right. Don't let your ego get in the way this holiday season. Try BetterHelp and fix yourself from the neck up as well as the neck down.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with the licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/togetherness today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/togetherness.
All right, welcome back. I don't know how we got on. I love just getting on here and not knowing what's going to happen. And then it goes from a beautiful giving birth to a beautiful tree.
And then we're talking butt talk or something by the end.
Yeah, but something in the butt will come up later. But I wanted to talk about when I get ready for this podcast. I just worked out this morning and then I just grabbed something to put on a podcast. How do you feel about the 3/4 zip sweater?
Oh, they're my jam. I love them.
Really? I feel like a nerd.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Maybe because I never wear them. Like when you put shorts on for the first time in the summer and you're like, oh my God.
Oh, and your legs are pale.
Yeah. And you kind of look just weird.
You look
I
ugly.
never wear a 3/4 zip.
Yeah.
But it's holiday season. Sometimes people bust out the 3/4 zips.
You can't wear a sweater all the time. I think it looks nice. Golfers wear that. I think you look nice, but I mean, whatever. If you don't like it, then don't. I like the 3/4 zips. I love the boys. If they would wear them, my kids just want to look like just bums all the time. I always buy them nice little things like that. Like they have a bunch of Vineyard Vines 3/4 zips that my dad got them, and they won't wear them because they want to wear basketball shorts and a basketball shirt.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was just bringing it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it.
No, I like it. It looks like golfer and it looks like professional. You can pull that stuff off. It's your body type. If you have that body type, you can pull it off. Yeah. Other people can't. It's just like going back to certain things. You find things that work for you, like 3/4 zip. I like on me because my boobs are so big and they're gross. And I just like these. I don't know. I think these look better. And then if it's like the round neck and just like a long sleeve shirt, it does nothing for my body. It makes me like my hips look wider and just makes me look a little bigger. So I prefer these because they sit at your waist and I feel like it's more flattering.
All right. Wow. I wasn't expecting that kind of defense for the 3/4 zip.
Well, I feel like you have to, for me, like when I was an A cup, I had no boobs and I could wear whatever. And then when I got my implants, I thought you can still wear whatever. And you have to dress differently for if you have no boobs and you have big boobs, just to balance out what's more flattering to you. It's kind of weird about that too.
That is weird. All right, we'll get out. I didn't even know it was going to go that deep, but you have a passion for 3/4 zips, apparently.
Well, if you go in my closet, everything is a 3/4 zip or a hoodie.
Well, somebody's birthday's around the corner. Maybe 3/4 zip is the way to go. You hate my I don't even know what to get you because you hate everything I get you.
You don't even ask.
What do you mean ask?
You
That's
never
not
ask
cool
me.
to
You
ask.
just, how is that not cool? That's how you know what somebody wants.
I'd rather build you something. You don't like that. And then I try to get you something expensive and then you don't like that. And I don't know what to get you. You just don't like it. You don't like name one gift that you've ever kept in 15 years.
Normally you don't give me gifts.
What are you talking about?
My birthday, you give me gifts, but that's about it. There's nothing that you've given me that like I've liked. I'm just like, it's more so the way you are, how you buy me gifts is how you buy your family gifts. You're annoyed that you have to buy a gift. So you just go in the store and you just grab like the first thing you see, or you walk around and you're like, okay, that's good. That's good. But you're just annoyed about it. So you just get it. And that's what you do with your family too. Like when we go holiday shopping for them, it's like, oh, whatever. You just want to get out of the store because you're annoyed by so many people around you.
Doesn't everybody
And
do
you're
that?
just annoyed that you're spending money on someone and you're just not. I sent a text to my friend the other day. I go, Jeff's with me. So you can imagine how much fun I'm having right now because I was shopping for the boys, some clothes, and I can't have you around.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah. It's
Well,
just
let me pick something out. You just went in there like a bowl in a China shop and grabbed some stuff. And I was like looking at different things. You're like, let's go. You just slopped away. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Well, you should have said, I'm over here looking at shirts.
I was looking for boy stuff and you got all your stuff and ran out.
Because I said the boys needed some pants. So we went to Old Navy because they were having 40% off. And we went and I was like, okay, I got what I needed, what we came for. And I was like, now our next stop is Target because I was looking for snow boots. But I have a system. I have like what I usually do. And this is something I'm learning to work on because for 7 years you've been working and you're gone and you don't do that and you don't help me. And now you're here all the time with me. So you going, and it's something that you don't enjoy either.
I enjoy that stuff.
No, not really.
Yeah,
Because
I like picking out cool stuff for the kids.
Yeah, but I know you don't like it. I know you're annoyed because you're already like in your head, like, oh, I'm spending this. So it just makes it not fun.
I wasn't annoyed at all.
So like if we do holiday shopping, like when we go to Naperville, we do that because we don't mail gifts to anybody. My favorite part of the whole thing is not shopping for the family because because he's just so annoyed by it.
No, sometimes it's annoying because I don't know what to get. That's what's frustrating. I'm not annoyed at buying gifts. I'm annoyed because I'm like, I don't know what am I getting here? I'm the worst gift giver. You know, like I think I get them something and I just get them a sweater and they're like, cool sweater. Thanks. You know, and then I feel bad because they get me a better gift. And I'm like, damn it.
Because they put thought into it. You just get there and are like, I just have to get a gift for them to open. And that's what you do to me. Like for Christmas, I don't think you bought me anything last year, but the year before, you got me electric toothbrush from Costco. And what else?
That's because yours broke.
And I was like, thanks.
I got you other stuff.
No, you bought me it. And I go, thanks. And then you were like, thought it was like such a great gift. And I was just like, because I'm like, I could have gone out and bought myself a toothbrush. Like I want something that I'm not going to go out and like get myself. I thought you could have got something better than a
Giving the
toothbrush.
gift of fighting gingivitis is very important.
So it was just something like that. I think the best gift you've ever given me was our iRobot. I've shared that on my Instagram, but you know how like people will think you're just trying to sell something. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm like legit. I use that thing every single day. And that's probably the best gift I ever got from you. But you got me that at the same year with the toothbrush.
That's a great Christmas. You got a robot vacuum cleaner and a toothbrush.
I don't buy him anything.
That's to me, that's a good gift. See, you know what I think a good gift is like enlightening people on things that they don't know about. So I think a good gift is like a rice maker. It's like $15. People don't know about it. Rice makers will change your life. You just throw the rice in there with the water, hit the button, it automatically stops, keeps it warm. The days of the water overflowing and then you burn the rice and whatever, those days are over. I think a rice maker is a great gift, but people might look at it like an electric toothbrush.
Well, it depends. If somebody likes cooking and stuff, then yeah, they're going to love it.
But that's where my mind
Get
goes.
your mom a rice cooker. Your mom would love that.
All right, well,
but you say, I don't like your gifts. You don't like anything that I buy. I would buy him Hugo Boss shirts and they're expensive. And you didn't like any of them that I got. You're like, I have one that looks like that. So when you open, it's the same reaction that I get when I get a toothbrush. I'm like, thanks. And then you get those shirts. I would go to Nordstrom, buy you like expensive shirts and you never you'd be like, I have something similar.
No, you know why? Because you spend too much money on me and I don't like that because I don't spend it on myself and I don't like that you bought something that's so expensive.
But it's like once a year.
But you know what you should tell me if you got me something expensive? And I was like, oh, wow, this is Versace. I don't wear Versace. I'm just giving an example.
I could not see you in Versace.
I don't wear Versace. I'm just saying, we were talking about Versace earlier. That's why it popped in my head. But I'm just thinking something expensive that you know right away it's expensive. I'd rather you get me like a Versace shirt and then you're like, listen, I know you think this is expensive. I found this guy and it was hot off the street and I only paid $50 for it. It fell off a truck or something. Then I would be like, oh, this shirt's awesome. Like if there was a story and you got a good deal on it. You know what I mean?
But I don't do it all the time. It was like once a year, so I didn't care.
No, but you're not getting what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
Tell me it was on sale or half price and you had a good deal on it.
And then you want it?
Then I'll be like, oh my God, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
If I pay full price for like a pair of pants, I'm not into those pants. If I get half off because of some sale, I'm really into those pants. The same pants. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
No, because I've heard it a million times. People haven't heard it out there. I wear cheap clothes. I like shoes. I like spending money on a good pair of shoes because I walk funny. I walk like I'm not even joking how many people ask me in a day, like what happened to my foot. And I'm like, I just walk weird. Like I walk like my foot's hurt. I think my feet aren't even. I think one leg's longer than the other or something. And my feet go inward. And so that for me, like you know what? I was going to tell you, I felt so good the other day. I gave myself a blowout and, I was at Starbucks and there's this lady at Starbucks. I love her. Her energy is so good. She's so sweet. I have this hair tool in my bathroom that I've never used. And I think I'm going to give it to her. I don't know if she'll think I'm weird because she doesn't know me like that. But I was thinking about that when she works. And I called my friend and I go, this lady that's working at Starbucks, I love her. She goes, I know exactly who you're talking about. She's the best. Like this lady needs a raise. And she's just so kind. But anyways, she goes, I just love your whole outfit. And she was like, your shirt looks really expensive. It's like one of those Lulu shirts, right? And I go, no. I go, I don't wear that. I go, this is $20 at Target. And she goes, are you serious? I go, yeah, not this shirt. It was another shirt I was wearing. And then she was like, what about your glasses? And she was like, those look really nice. I go, they were $20. And she goes, oh, you need to start a like to know it shop. And she's like, and I'll come shop there because that's like my price range. And I'm like, oh my God. Like she just like made me feel good because she thought I looked together, but I wasn't. Like all of it, it was like, and I told her, I go,
that's just how you perceive yourself and you don't see yourself like that.
No, but I told her, she was like, and you look like you went to the salon. I was like, I did this myself. And just like, I don't know.
You do a good job.
Made me feel good. And then she, what was I going to say? And then I was thinking, I was like, she liked my hair. I have a tool that looks just like that. I think I'm going to give it to her.
You have an extra one?
I have an extra one. And I think I'm going to give it to her.
It's the holidays. You're supposed to do cool stuff like that.
I know. I'm doing a giveaway before we do our big giveaway. But like stuff like that, like, makes you feel good, but it just shows like you don't have to spend $200 on a shirt, to look like nowadays you can go to Walmart's got jams, Target's got jams.
Yeah, they really up their game.
Target's
Old Navy
kind of getting up there like expensive though with some like pants. The Old Navy was cheaper than Target.
Yeah, and Old Navy's you got to work those discounts like 40% off days.
Yeah, when they get the cash.
Bucks. Yeah, I don't know. Old Navy stepped up their game. They were. they've been around a long time, but I felt like they kind of just put out stuff that said Old Navy for a while. But like going there, I bought workout stuff over there that mocks Lululemon stuff. And then we just bought the boys a bunch of stuff because I just like a clean look, like not a clean look, like no logos, like black, white, blue, cool pockets, not like logos everywhere.
Right.
And Old Navy really, I think, is leaning into that. Not so much like the logos, just like cool athletic gear at a discounted price. Not that we're not sponsored by Old Navy or anything. I'm just saying like we're trying to cut back costs a little bit, and they got good stuff. And the boys just go through their stuff sliding on their knees. They're getting so big and it goes so fast. Why not get something, that's affordable?
It's true. And then, but going back to, I will spend money on tennis shoes. Not like I won't wear high heels. Cause again, going back to walking weird, I walk weird, but on Cloud, I'm not sponsored by them at all. If you need a good pair of walking shoes or just everyday shoes, On Cloud are my favorite.
Who introduced you to On Cloud?
You. Yeah. And I didn't even know.
These are On Clouds too.
And I didn't even know
my podcast shoes.
On Cloud was a thing. And then I think I saw it like on Instagram, and then I bought them and you were like, that's what I work out in every day. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And you wear yours, but I really do like them. And there's a good story I'm forgetting now with the owner. I think the guy who started On Cloud went to Nike, I believe. And
we were in an On Cloud store in California.
And I was asking the guy if that story was true. And Nike was like, no. And it just reminded me kind of like with Jeff in the television industry, like when he talks about like people selling shows and how it's always no, or there's always an answer. This guy went to Nike, was like, I have this awesome shoe. Do you guys want to make it or carry it or something? They turned him down. No. So him and two other buddies were like, fine, we're going to start our own thing. Started On Cloud. And I think it's like close to $1 billion. I don't know. I don't want to say.
But it's really catching on now. And you know what the best part is? I got these at a really big discount.
Mine, I didn't.
Yeah, you went to the store.
I went to the actual store.
Mine was the secondary market.
But we are going to take a break and then we'll come back.
Okay. If you're looking for a great gift this holiday season, start with StoryWorth. This is a very cool product that we just got introduced to, but I love the concept around it.
I think it's great to give to like your parents or even your kids to see what your kids would say whenever they send you questions. Each week, StoryWorth emails your loved ones a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. Things like, what is the bravest thing you've ever done? What is the furthest you've ever traveled? Or how did you used to get to school every day? Things like that is so cute. Like with our kids, like the answers that they would give, I feel like Leighton and Lawson would give the cutest answers. So StoryWorth then makes the writing process a breeze. All your loved one needs to do is respond to that email with a story, long or short, it doesn't matter.
You'll be emailed a copy of your loved one's response as they're submitted over the course of the year. After that year of fun, StoryWorth compiles your loved one's stories and photos into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. I could already see my mom crying as I give her this beautiful gift.
I know. Or like I said, this is something with our boys. I just would love that, like over a year.
And time's going by so fast. They're getting so big. And I'm very much a reflective person. And I want to enjoy these times that we have with our kids and remember them forever, because they're going to be grown before we know it. And looking back on something like this, to have a hard copy, old school of things that they were feeling and we were feeling at the time, it's a beautiful thing.
Families love StoryWorth. That's why it has more than 35,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, with millions of stories preserved since they were founded over 10 years ago.
Help your family members share and capture their stories this holiday season with StoryWorth. Just go to storyworth.com/togetherness today and save 10% on your first purchase.
That's StoryWorth.com/togetherness to save $10 on your first purchase. StoryWorth.com/togetherness.
It's beautiful. Welcome back. All right. So this I was thinking about today. I don't know what it is around this time of year, like with the snow or it gets chilly. I've been listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I know.
Like crazy.
You're in the shower and it's like, boom, or whatever.
I don't know why. I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. If you're not familiar with them, I think it maybe reminds me of my childhood, like high school, college years. And maybe just brings me back to that place because they're not really... It's not really something you play with your kids, I'm guessing is what I'm saying. But it's something I grew up with. So I think they're phenomenal. Like the way they harmonize and rap over everything. And I know they're a little aggressive lyrically. Like
we saw them at Red Rocks.
Yeah,
Jeff and I
we
did.
saw two of them.
Yeah, because
one died
passed.
and one didn't. Yeah, for whatever reason, they like any other band, they broke up. But you know what I was thinking? Because of the harmonizing, this is an interesting question. And this is what I think about. I wonder if in the scheme of things, can you put Bone Thugs and Harmony in a boy band category?
No, because aren't they gangsters?
Yeah, of course they're gangsters. But I'm just saying, take away the swearing and all that stuff and, playing to little girls all over the country. Are they essentially a boy band because they harmonize? There's 4 of them. I know they rap over it and stuff, but I was thinking, they're really good at harmony. And that's what boy bands do. They're really good at like harmonizing. So I'm wondering, with all that instrumentals and harmonizing, could you put Bone Thugs and Harmony in a boy band category?
I mean, I wouldn't think it, but...
Are you thinking about it now?
I just don't picture it.
You know? Okay, how about this one? Would you put the Beatles in a boy band category?
No.
Why not?
I only know like 2 Beatles songs.
But they're 4 guys that are kind of harmonizing, playing instruments.
Were they a boy band? They were like boy band in the 60s. Is that what they were labeled as, a boy band in the 60s?
I don't think so. How about, would you consider the Jackson 5 a boy band?
More, I think Jackson 5 more so over Bone Thugs and Harmony and the Beatles.
Of course. I'm just trying to stretch the category out a little bit. I don't know. I'm into boy bands. I always was.
Jackson 5 I could see more. So like a category, like a boy band.
So what do you think the first boy band would have been? Remember the Monkees? Do you think the Monkees were a boy band? Do you remember the Monkees?
No.
With Davy Jones? That was way back there.
Davy Jones. That was on the Brady Bunch.
He took them to prom. Yeah, totally remember
they
that.
Yeah. That's what I remember. I don't really know Davy Jones. My mom knew Davy Jones because she said he was cute back in the day.
Well, they got the Hey Hey We're the Monkees. What's that one? Oh my God. I'm trying to think of that one song by the Monkees. It's not Hey Mr. Tambourine Man. That's not Hey Miss. Or what's that song by the Monkees? He's got that like low voice, like that interesting voice.
Were the Monkees the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh, they were the 70s. What about Lionel Richie? I love that guy.
Oh, but he had the band.
You know what made me
What was his band? The Commodores?
Yes.
So was that a boy band?
I would think they would be more, well, they're kind of like art. Would it be more R&B? I just feel, I love the Commodores. I love their song. Don't they sing that lady, you bring me up when I'm down, up when, isn't that
I get confused of Lionel Richie and the Commodores, like who's what?
I don't
like
know.
All Night Long, was that was just Lionel Richie?
That was just Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
But.
How about Dancing on the Ceiling? Is that the same song?
I think that's just Lionel Richie.
What's a Commodore song?
That one song that I just said.
What?
You bring me up when my mom always listened to them. Now, my mom liked the 70s. My mom was at one. If she lived in New York, she would have been at what was the big popular place everybody went to in the 70s?
Oh, Studio 54.
Yes, my mom would have been at Studio 54. My mom lived in a town, I feel like it was like Footloose, where it was like you're listening to Ozzy Osbourne. She said like, that was devilish music they weren't allowed to listen to. And she had a couple friends, they were like dancing buddies, and they would sneak and go to like another town and they would go disco dancing, she said.
That seems like a great age to live in.
Oh, for sure. And then she said they snuck out and they all went dancing. And then my aunt always says, your grandpa was so strict on me because your mom was so wild. But my mom, just anything dancing, she loves, like 70s and all of that. But Lionel Richie, I fell in love with him on American Idol because he was so passionate about music and so happy and just lovable. And, you know, I didn't know who he was. I love that one. Easy Like Sunday Morning.
Oh, yeah. That was the Commodores, right?
No, I think that's just Lionel Richie.
Oh, it is?
Went off
that was
on
an old song, though.
He was... The Commodores, don't they others sing that? What's that other one? It was like when they're like in bell bottoms. They're always
don't sing too much because we get demonetized when we play music.
Oh, okay.
But you could, I mean, we're not even coming close to the lyrics or the sound that they're producing. So I think
the music back then was so much better.
Do you know my favorite like disco era song? I think her name's Thelma Houston. And it's Don't Leave Me This Way. Don't leave me this way. So we've adopted that with the guys I go fishing with, Tony and Steve. So we've adopted that as like our theme song. So before we get like our gear on, we jam Thelma Houston. And I don't know why. And it's like we're going to catch some fish. It's like to pump us up. But that's my go-to like 70s jam. If you don't know it, put on Thelma Houston, Don't Leave Me This Way, and get fired up. Baby! I love that song. It'll turn the party up.
You know that one, I'm gonna go out and pop. Marvin Gaye, right? It's Marvin Gaye. I used to go
I know I could hear the beat, the cool beat in the background.
It's on the movie Blow.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Other people might not, but I know exactly the song.
I think it's Marvin Gaye. Yes. My parents loved Casey and the Sunshine Band too.
Yeah.
Those were good. Like music now is so bad. But you know what? Our parents probably said that about when we were teenagers about these boy bands. Like these Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees, NSYNC, O-Town. They're probably like, what?
Yes. I love that. There's a new documentary I saw.
I think some of them are going on tour.
Yeah.
I saw one.
New Kids I know of,
it
of
was
98 Degrees.
So bad. It looked like dad bods just like hardly moving. And it was kind of embarrassing, but you look like you could join in.
I would love to. It's my dream.
Really?
Well,
if NSYNC goes on tour, ask Lance. He will let you.
When me and Lance used to be friends back in the day. Obviously, we don't talk anymore because we live in two different places and life goes on. But when we were, friendly a lot, when we were talking, I'd say, Lance, dude, JT's never coming back. Let me slip in there, dude.
Yeah.
But I have no skills to do any of that. I guess you learn. But I always thought it was cool. Even when people made fun of them, like we've talked about that. I was like, yeah, like you wouldn't want to be in that band.
You got the cul-de-sac boys. What are you talking about?
Well,
you, Mark, and Zach can be the cul-de-sac dads. There you go.
Slowly putting the man band together.
Yeah, you got some time on your hands. We're gonna take a break and do maybe one, maybe two. Let's see how long we talk, Dear Krabbies.
I think we're done here.
Are we?
Yeah.
Let's do one, Dear Krabby. I really like that.
I want to make this an extra long episode. All right, we'll come back and do a quick Dear Krabby just because you guys work so hard at writing them in and we do want to acknowledge you. So if you guys do have Dear Krabbies, send them in at togetherpod@gmail.com and we'll read them. So we'll come back and do a couple of those and then we'll get out of here. All right, guys, I got to come clean about something. I've been using JLo Beauty every night.
I have too.
No, I'm serious. I've been using it every single night. JLo Beauty was nice enough to send some products. And what am I going to do? Not use them. And I feel more beautiful than ever.
Well, it's good because you're not using a bar of soap to wash your face.
That's right. It's okay for me to dive into JLo Beauty and enjoy myself.
Yeah, just like you wear women's deodorant. You love your feminine products.
It's all right to take care of your body as well as your skin and face, especially at my age.
Yes, and you don't want to go overboard with the skincare. And with JLo, you have all the steps that you need. You love eye cream, you have the serum, and then you have your moisturizer.
Yeah, I don't want it too complicated. And I always have to give credit to our old makeup artist at DBL. He taught me so much about skincare and he'd be proud of me for using JLo Beauty.
I'm gentle on my face. Jeff is like hard scrubbing his face.
Yeah, I think it's just a man versus woman thing. Or maybe it's not. I'm just very aggressive in everything I do, even washing my face.
Jeff's getting on a routine, learning about the skincare, the AM, PM thing, because you didn't know that. But the JLo Deluxe Kit That's what we have, is an easy to follow AM PM solution that gives your skin smoother, brighter look, improves the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Jeff has a ton of those, and protects against UVAs and UVBs.
Maybe it's because I've been using foot soap to wash my face.
Yes. Well, we got to get rid of those angry lines. So with your JLo Beauty, we're helping with that.
I'm trying my best.
Get more glow for less with your skincare routine. Try JLo Beauty Deluxe Kit for 60 days. If you're not completely satisfied, just return the bottles, even if they're empty, and you can get your money back.
That's right. I'm not kidding. JLo Deluxe Kit is easy to follow, both AM and PM solutions that give your skin a smoother, visible, brighter look. Even if Jordan doesn't think so, I feel beautiful, and improves the appearance of my fine lines and wrinkles, and protects against UVAs and UVBs.
Who doesn't want that JLo glow?
I do. Yes.
Get the only skincare routine you'll ever need. Head to jlobeauty.com/togetherness to receive 20% off plus 3 free gifts, including 2 quality face masks and 1 hydrating Baso balm. The face masks are amazing.
That's right. Head to jlobeauty.com/togetherness. That's MESS for 20% off and 3 free gifts. That's a $175 value. So jlobeauty.com/togetherness. Feel the most beautiful you can this holiday season.
Glow. Welcome back. So Riley just came on and said the internet considers Jackson 5 as the first boy band, and I agree.
Well, it was a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
They were good.
I like it.
Okay. What do you want to do? I feel like this is like our next door neighbor that wrote this, but I don't know.
Oh, I love it. Infiltrating the podcast.
Okay.
It's probably not.
This is Mark. This is from Mark. How about would you rather? Would you rather have leg-sized fingers or finger-sized legs? Why?
Dude, I really think that's Mark.
I feel like this is our next door neighbor, Mark. But if not, this makes me laugh.
This podcast was kind of like we were drunk the whole time. We were just talking about random things. But
That's what I love about
I kind of like conversations like this. What is it? Would you rather
have leg-sized fingers or finger-sized legs, and why?
Listen, I'll play along. I rather have finger-sized legs.
Why?
I don't know, just because I could grab stuff from like further out.
Finger-sized legs.
I don't want.
You have little legs.
But I'm finger legs. I don't want that.
No, that's
I'd be
what
like
you're
a
saying.
ladybug. I'd just be like little. I want my fingers to be like legs, so I could work the computer from here. That's more of an advantage, I feel like.
I would do leg-sized fingers.
Yeah, but you'd still have regular sized legs, right?
No, leg-sized fingers, leg-sized fingers.
But then what do your legs look like?
Your legs would be little stubs.
But then what's the alternative? What are you asking me?
Would you rather have leg-sized fingers?
Right.
I would rather have leg-sized fingers.
So I'm going to have finger legs, but then my fingers are still the same? You see what I'm saying? You're giving me no scenario. You're giving me no options. You're saying my legs are fingers and my fingers are legs. You're not saying which one would I rather have.
You wouldn't have fingers. Your legs would be fingers.
No, I'm saying I want legs, regular legs, and I choose my fingers to be as long as my legs.
Oh,
That's what I'm
choose your
choosing.
fingers to be as long as your legs?
Yeah, that's what I'm choosing. Rather than having regular sized fingers and then having finger legs. I don't want that.
I don't know why.
I feel like a bug.
I keep picturing not another scary movie. Remember, he's like, this is my strong hand.
Can't wait to ask Mark if he wrote that. He definitely wrote that.
I feel like Mark wrote that.
That's kind of like what it's like hanging out in the cul-de-sac. People always ask questions. It's kind of like that. The dumbest stuff ever.
Okay. Kathy, this is from Kathy. What is the tattoo on Jeff's wrist? Just curious. Love the podcast. You'll have me laughing every episode. I've been following y'all since Big Brother.
Oh boy. So this is a long story. It says Strength and Honor. Gladiator is my favorite movie forever since I first watched it. And it came out not too long after I moved to California. So me and my buddies were out one night. after work. We had a couple drinks, and I was like, you know what? When I'd go home, I'd always put on Gladiator and fall asleep to it. And even if my friends came over, I'd put it on in the living room and just watch it. And they're like, dude, you're obsessed with Gladiator. And I was like, yeah, I love it, dude. I'm like, what a great movie. And I like the soundtrack and all that stuff. And it gives me inspiration, which I needed when I first moved to LA. But anyways, I'm like, I want to get a Strength and Honor tattoo. And my buddy's like, dude, you would never get a Strength and Honor tattoo. I'm like, do you want to bet? And he's like, yeah, he goes, I'll pay for it if you get it. So one of our other buddies drove us down to the tattoo shop. We went down there and I'm like, yeah, I want Strength and Honor, but I don't want it to stay Strength and Honor. I was drunk. We were drunk. And I'm like, I don't want it to say Strength and Honor. I kind of want it like hidden. And at the time, those Chinese symbols and Japanese symbols were really popular. I know it's kind of loserish now to have like a barbed wire tattoo, which I don't have, or the tramp stamp for the women, that back tattoo. Sorry if you got one of those. I have a sun, like I'm in 98 degrees, and a Chinese symbol. So I'm making fun of myself with all that. Very generational tattoos. But when they first gave it to me, it went all the way up my arm. So they made the symbols, and I checked the symbols. It does say Strength and Honor. And it went up my arm. And I was trying to explain to the guy, I'm like, no. I just want it small. Like I want it to cover, I could cover it with my watch so people don't see it. So he comes back and it's like half the size. And again, we're having difficulty communicating because we were having a couple drinks. So he's like, dude, I'm done with these kids. He's like, someone else take them. And this woman comes over and she goes, don't mind him. What do you want? And I was like, you already did it. I just want it small. And she's like, that's it? I'm like, that's it. And she's like, no problem. And she did it in like 10 minutes. And then my buddy goes, I can't believe you just got a tattoo. And he opened his wallet and I just grabbed all of his money. And I'm like, thank you so much. He had like $70 and I think it was like $50. So he tipped her. That's how much it was. And that's the story of how I got a tattoo.
Wasn't the one on your arm a drunk spring break in Panama City?
Don't most tattoos start with I was drunk and I got this tattoo?
I feel like that's
not anymore.
I feel like that's a 90s thing.
Yeah, most people have good stories. Yeah, I got this tattoo when I was like 17 and it was crooked.
And your mom didn't know?
No, I wore a shirt forever. Like I didn't tell my mom anything. I was so embarrassed. Yeah, we were on spring break in Panama City and I got a cross with a sun and the cross was like crooked. It was wrong. And then my other buddy got Joey on his arm, but it looked like it said Toey. And we go back to our room and we were like, oh my God, we got tattoos. I was like, oh my God, I got a tattoo and it's crooked, dude. And it was like 1 a.m. and like my buddy Tommy's biting the pillow because he's laughing because he knows it's crooked. And he backed out. My buddy Tom backed out. He goes, I'm like, you backed out, man. What are you doing? And he's like, because your tattoos are all messed up. And I was like, yours says Toey. And he's like, your cross is all crooked. And it was like 2 a.m. We're like, let's get out of here. And we left spring break and we all drove home from Panama City back to Chicago because we were pissed about our tattoos. And we had, by the way, we had 3 tires and one of the spare tires. So we had a mini tire and we just peeled out of Panama City. We're like, let's get out of this place. It sucks. And so I got mad about my first tattoo. The second tattoo is I'm all right with, but yeah, that's the story of my tattoos. And we've taken this on too long.
I know. Sorry, we went a little long.
Yeah.
Sorry if we lost you there. Okay. Thank you for continuing to watch, download, subscribe. And I hope y'all have a wonderful week.
And if you're still with us, thank you for listening. And also get ready for November 20th, our live event, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. We got some great giveaways. We got some great stuff lined up. We're going to be taking your questions all live and we're very excited about it. So stay tuned for that. But again, thank you for listening. Get those Ask Krabby questions in.
Dear Krabby.
Dear Krabby at togethernestpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye. Yay Media Group.